City Council meeting to order. We'll stand for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Chisel.
Here.
Bill Richards is absent this evening. Carlson.
Here.
Luce.
Here.
Lohr.
Here.
Rustad.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? None? Roll call.
Lohr.
Yeah, aye.
Carlson.
Aye.
Luce.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Rustad.
Aye.
Chisel.
Aye.
Okay. Is there anybody here who would like to speak to the council on matters that are not on the agenda? Haven't seen none. We'll continue on. Continue on to the consent agenda. To approve the consent agenda, A, the minutes of our June 6th meeting. B, pay the claims. C, change order for the municipal pool water slide replacement, which is $3,400 less than what we thought. Change order number 1 for the airport fencing and driveway project, an amount of $4,000, which would be, Chad, you said that would be 80/20.
Right, that'll be a cost share.
Okay. E, partial pay estimate number 1 for the airport fencing and driveway project in the amount of $56,145.26. F, partial pay estimate number 2, Old Stage Road interceptor sewer improvement of $144,030.48. G, to a new Class B permit for Nordic Fest, including their outdoor service area. H, approve the special event application for Nordic Fest. Item I, approve the special event application for the Rotary Loop-de-Loop event. J, renew Class B permit for Happy Joe's, including Sunday sales. K, renew Class C beer permit for Casey's, including Sunday sales. L, renew Class C liquor license for Lorana, including Sunday sales. M, request street closing request from the Decorah Area Chamber of Commerce for Saturday on the street, which is from Water Street between Mechanic and State Street, including this year, including the intersection of River Street, July 23rd from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. And the acceptance of proposal for the auditing services for fiscal years 16, 17, and 18. And O, Resolution 2746, resolution entering into a 28E agreement between the City of Decorah, Wenatchee County, and all member cities in Wenatchee County for the purposes of mutual aid in emergency management. Do I have?
I'll make a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Carlson. Did I hear a second?
Second.
Who seconded? Randy? Randy seconded. So, discussion on any of these matters?
Is it June 6th minutes? Or is it the 20th?
Thank you for catching that. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, roll call.
Carlson.
Aye.
Chisel.
Aye.
Lohr.
Aye.
Rustad.
All right.
Johnson.
Aye.
Luce.
Aye.
Okay, we'll move to number 7. Consider ordinance 1188, an ordinance vacating Lot 5 in Block 1 of North Home 7th Edition and Lot 8 in Block 1 of North Home 5th Edition in the City of Decorah. This will be the first reading.
Gary, you need to back up to item number 6, public hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Went right over that. We'll conduct a public hearing on the vacation and convenience of city right-of-way. Excuse me. So I'll open the public hearing. Any public comment?
There have been no comments received, written or otherwise, at City Hall.
Okay, anybody here wishing to talk about the about this issue? If not, I'll close the public hearing. Now we'll go to number 7. Consider ordinance 1188, an ordinance vacating Lot 5 in Block 1 of North Home 7th Edition, and Lot 8 in Block 1 of North Home 5th Edition for the City of Decorah. This will be the first reading.
I would approve ordinance 1188 and waive the second and third readings.
Second.
Do we have to approve this?
Separate motion.
And then waive. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So we'll just do the first reading.
I'm sorry, who seconded?
I did.
Discussion? Roll call?
Chisholm?
Aye.
Carlson?
Aye.
Luce?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Rusted?
Aye.
Lohr?
Aye.
Okay, not ready.
I would make a motion to waive the second, third readings on ordinance 1188
And adopt.
Second.
and adopt.
Okay. Motion by Chisholm, second by Carlson. You two sound alike. Wave your hand next time.
Same.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Chisholm?
Aye.
Luce?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Rusted?
Aye.
Lohr? Carlson?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Move now to item 8. Consider resolution 2744 approving the convenience of city right-of-way in North Home 7th and 8th edition in the city of Decorah.
And it's 5th edition in the city of Decorah. And this will convey that parcel that you just vacated.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I move.
Second.
Okay, this time a motion by Lowe and second by Carlson. Discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Luce?
Aye.
Carlson?
Aye.
Chisholm?
Aye.
Lohr?
Aye.
Rusted?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Thank you. We'll move now to conduct another public hearing on a proposed plans, specs, bids for the Dunning Spring Stone Arch Bridge project. I'll open that public hearing. Anybody wishing to address the council on the matter?
I think your Park and Rec Director might have a few comments about the project
I think
at this
we'll-
time, if that's all right.
I think that's a great idea, so we'll turn it over to Andy.
All right, so we've been working on replacing the bridge at Dunning Springs for some time, and we have a donor that I'd like to announce is Decorah Products, with an additional gift coming from Chris and Rhonda Storley's family and the Park Rec Endowment, which should take care of most of the funding for that bridge. We had bid opening last week, and as you can see, Kevin Quandall Construction with Mr. Ted Wilson, who's here, will be the stonemason with that. And Ted has been scheming and putting together plans for a long time for this project, and it's going to be very nice.
Okay. Anybody else wishing to address the council on this matter? Seeing none, hearing none, we'll close the public hearing and move to resolution 2745 approving the proposed plans, specs, and accepting a bid for the Downing Springs Stone Arch Bridge project. The WHK engineered estimate and cost was, as you can see there, was $98,096. And so, Lindsay, do you have anything else that you want to talk about this?
No, I think they managed to figure out how to put this in there, which is an achievement, so good with that.
Okay. So Quandall's construction's bid looks like it's $75,195.
Move resolution 2745.
Motion by Lowe. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Carlson. Discussion?
I think it'll be a wonderful addition to our park system.
No discussion. Roll call?
Luce?
Aye.
Carlson?
Aye.
Chisholm?
Aye.
Lohr?
Aye.
Rusted?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Great, thank you. And I think we should thank thank the Deco and Storleys and for their generous donation, and looking forward to the completion of that bridge. Thank you. Move to item number 11. Consider a lease renewal for a parking lot located at 406 West Main Street here in Decorah. That's what we like to refer to, the old Bradley Auto lot, downtown Decorah. We are currently paying, total amount is $500 a month, which the city is paying $400 and Betterment is paying the $100 a month. We're paying $400 a month and they're paying the additional $100 a month. So we'll open that up for discussion.
Lease comes due at the end of July. And this is I believe it's the second two-year lease.
It was annual before that?
No, it was longer term before that, I believe it was 3 at least, yeah.
I'd like to look into purchasing it as opposed to continuing renting this year after year. I know Chad has said in the past that when we approached them about, they want to sell the building with it, correct, Chad?
Yes.
Maybe a little bit of a change of heart this year, I don't know.
Have you had, what conversations, Chad, have you had with Mr. Polkadal?
I haven't talked to Mark recently. I believe Steve has talked to Mark here just since this came up here in the last couple of weeks.
Yes. He has a desire to sell if we want to. He's also willing to continue the rental situation. He needs a price of $330,000 for it.
And that's the lot plus the red brick house.
The whole property.
Did you talk to him about would he even consider just selling the parking lot? Or was that completely off the table?
It's all property.
Okay.
I didn't specifically ask him that, but when I talked about the property, he didn't say anything other than,
Okay.
when you get that house, it'll need a lot of work. Or maybe he said, if you get that house. I'm in favor of the idea of owning it from the perspective of low and middle income commission that had a meeting a week ago yesterday about looking for space where there might be development of single-bedroom rental units. And it seems to me that if the city owned the property, it'd be possible to see if we could work with community action in terms of Woolen Mill type of project of taking the Main Street side of the parking lot and developing rentals there, and then keeping a double wide parking area closer to the alley. We talked at the commission of where are places in Decorah where space could be found to do something. The commission talked about it had been properties developed in Decorah, and then they had gone out into the different counties around, and it seemed like it was, again, Decorah is at the top of the list to have housing developed. We haven't had any conversations with Jeremy or anyone at Community Action, but I think those could be very fruitful discussions. My thought would be, as a way to generate some of this money, there is a balance in the low and middle income TIF account that could be utilized for some of it, and then I could see if it was feasible to increase a possible fire truck bonding by a couple $100,000 to get the rest of the money needed for the purchase of the property. So I speak in favor of owning the lot and seeing if it could be utilized for the benefit of the city.
So do you want to put this into, what you chair the property committee so we can discuss all the different possible options?
I think we've got the rest of the month, as I understand, before the lease is up, and it was, as I believe once, a 1-month extension was added to be able to, so I think it's quite appropriate to go to property committee to see about the possibilities.
Okay. Want to make that a motion?
I would move that we send this to the property committee with the idea of exploring purchasing the property.
I'll second that.
Okay, I got a motion by Lowell, second by Johnson, to put this into the property committee. Discussion? Roll call?
Luce?
Aye?
Johnson?
Aye.
Rustad?
Aye.
Lohr?
Aye.
Chisel?
Aye.
Carlson?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. And so you'll set that public here, or excuse me, that committee meeting and let the people know? Okay. All right, moving right along to number 12. Discussion and possible action on the purchase and financing of an aerial ladder truck, including approval of the letter of intent to engage financial advisor. So open this up, and Mr. Ashbacker, our fire chief, is here. Do you have anything you'd like to add or say? Or
Take any questions that the council might have, regarding the truck and the process that we've done through up to this point.
Okay. You will notice in your packet that Chad sent out that you do have some couple different options regarding a 6-year note or a 4-year note, and what the interest rates is and the and total cost that would cost to purchase it. And so we'll open up for more discussion.
Well, I would like to set a finance meeting Thursday morning so we can talk about this and other funding streams of revenue to try and make this palatable, because we would have to borrow to make payments to start with.
Well, we'll initially need more money than the $900,000 as well to retrofit the garage. So we'll need more than just the 9.
Yeah, that's why I'd like to meet Thursday morning at 7 a.m. down here.
What morning?
Thursday the
Thursday.
7th?
2 days.
Thursday.
Thursday.
This Thursday?
Yes,
What time are you?
7 a.m.
Okay, do I make that a motion? I take it, do I have a second for that?
Second.
Motion by Chisel, seconded by Lowe's, to move it to Budget and Finance Committee meeting for this Thursday at 7 a.m. Discussion? Roll call.
Chisel?
Aye.
Luce?
Aye?
Johnson?
Aye.
Rustad?
Aye.
Lohr?
Aye.
Carlson?
Aye.
Great. Can you be here at 7 a.m. Thursday?
See if I can get off work. I will as early as possible.
Okay.
I'll have somebody here.
I do have a question for the chief, if I may. I know you talked to the chief in Indianola about the purchase price. Is there much, if any, flexibility there? How firm are they on that amount?
At the time, he seemed to be fairly firm on it. He said that, he wasn't necessarily the one setting the price. It's something that was in discussion with the city manager. I would sure think that we could engage in that conversation again with them, if that's what we wish to do. There are some things that will have to be done before the truck will be delivered. It need to obviously be re-lettered. I think it would be good to have a pump test done on it to make sure that that is up to current pump test. Our trucks are pump tested every year on an annual basis. When you buy a new apparatus, it's typically pump tested, the pump is certified prior to being delivered. Speaking with the folks at Rosenbauer, they would do the pump service test, the ladder service, detail the truck, upgrade any particular upgrades there would be to software on the operating systems. The upgrade to the software systems would be at no charge. There would be a charge for the pump test and the ladder inspection and testing, but they would also detail the truck. They said it would basically come to us from them as if it was a new delivery. What that cost is, I don't have those numbers in front of me. They were working on those numbers today. They were hoping to get them to me by 5:45, which it appears when they have not. Last I checked my email. So I would think with what those costs would be, there may be some room to maybe work with Indianola and say, hey, it's going to cost us this much to put the truck in the station. Would you be willing to entertain a different number than what you currently are advertising there?
Chief, there's been some talk about whenever you buy a vehicle, you want to kick the tires and check on it and various things. Would you consider it going back to the dealer for the upgrade electronics and various things? Sort of that type of a run-through to make sure that it's...
On a truck such as this, I would recommend that happen. There are a lot of systems on the truck. There are a lot of safety systems that, I just want to make sure operate the way they're supposed to. Speaking with the folks in Rosenbauer, that would be what they would like for us to do is to have the truck gone through. I'd have to go back and look at the records, the service records on when the ladder was serviced last, because the ladder gets serviced every year annually, just like the pump does. Maybe it would be something that doesn't necessarily need to be done right away, but I could check with them on those numbers and the recommendations. They want to make sure, speaking with their aerial folks, they want to make sure that we get a truck in the station that works the way we want it to work. And that is their goal. Speaking with Rosenbauer, they're not making any money on this deal. If they sold us a new one, they would, but not a used truck. And so they want to make sure everything is correct before it comes here. According to the paperwork, there was a service person there at the end of March that went through a lot of the systems, and everything appears to be in order. What has transpired from March until today, I don't know the answer to that. But it appears as though the truck is very well taken care of.
Before Indianola took possession, was it a demonstrator?
It was. So Indianola took possession of the truck with roughly 26,500 miles on it. The truck currently has 28,600 miles on it, so they've roughly put 2,100 miles on it in the 4 years that they've had it there. I think the advantage of a truck like that is once it's been out on the road as a demonstrator, according to Rosenbauer, it's been to Arizona and Florida, it's been to Indianapolis, it's been all over the country as a demonstrator truck from the time it was finished until Indianola took possession. But before Indianola took possession and went back to Rosenbauer, they went through the truck completely as if it was a new delivery, made sure everything was working properly, and then sent it back out to Indianola to make sure that everything was working the way it was supposed to. I've spoken with Rosenbauer. I talked to Cat. It has a Cat engine in it. I talked to Cat. I have the service records. We have Cat ran the engine serial numbers to see if there had been any major problems with the engine, which there have not been. And so, that's where we're at with it. From the outside, it looks like a clean truck. I understand it's used.
So after the 28,000 miles of demonstrator and it went back then to be...
Completely run through by...
Is that the type of process we could expect, having it go back to them to be trying to upgrade it and all the things? So
for a price, for a cost, for them to do that service, yes. Rosenbauer, obviously, is the company that built the truck. They built the ladder, they built the truck. Everything was built by Rosenbauer. they would go through it as if it was a new delivery back out to us.
Can we get that quote so that we can talk about that in finance?
Like I said, I expected to have it this afternoon. I did not get it.
Thank you.
Now they do that before we purchase it or after we purchase it?
Well, that is something that you would have to decide. I would want to make sure it is operating properly before I send a check.
Right.
And, we've been down there on 2 occasions. We've operated it with them. We've flowed water through it. We've operated the ladder on 2 different occasions. It all works the way it's advertised to work. But I would feel better to have Rosenbauer go through the truck, go through all the systems and do systems checks and everything, and make sure that it's the way it's supposed to be.
Mike, if they go through and check it like you'd like it, what kind of warranty would we have then?
Mike, Scott, 2 Mike? I don't know, thank you, Mike.
So what type of, is this on? What type of warranty would we expect?
Yeah, just address that again.
As far as the aerial apparatus goes, I do not know the answer to that. I know that when we received our new truck from Rosenbauer, it was a 1-year bumper-to-bumper warranty on the entire apparatus. That 1-year warranty is obviously expired. Talking with CAT today, CAT said according to their records, there appears to be about 9 months left on an engine warranty through Caterpillar. There's a lifetime body warranty, a lifetime subframe warranty. There are, I think, 5 years left on the plumbing warranty, and I believe it's 3 or 5 years left on the paint warranty on the truck itself as well.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything for Ms. Ashbacker regarding this aerial? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
So Gary, just to back up on that item, there was proposed possible action on a letter of intent to engage our financial advisor. Is that something the council would like to do at this time, or table that?
I think until
It's a non-binding letter of intent to engage in their services.
Basically, let's make a deal.
I'd move it just to have it on hand. So if Finance Committee moves on, we've already got that.
I'll second that.
Okay. We got a motion by Lowe's, seconded by Johnson. Any more discussion? Roll call.
Luce?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Rustad?
Aye.
Lohr?
Aye.
Chisel?
Aye.
Carlson?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. And we'll turn to that potential project over to Randy and his Budget and Finance Committee meeting this Thursday morning. Moving right along to item number 13. Consider a recommendation from the LMI Commission regarding the application for funding from the Lowell Rental Housing Agency. Mr. Lowell, this is kind of under your direction now, so.
Chad can explain it much better. That's going to pass the buck.
So I am sending around the packet information from the commission meeting from last week. Laura Olson is your director of the Low Rent Housing Agency of Decorah. She administers the HUD, Housing and Urban Development Funds, federal funds, for low and moderate income rental assistance. Because of the way that HUD allocates or calculates her administrative percentage of the funds that she receives, it's usually kind of a catch-up game, and she is finding herself in about that 2-year cycle where she does not have funds on hand to cover the administrative expenses. This happened about 2 years ago. I think it was September of 14 when this happened last time. And so she has asked for some buffer assistance from the LMI Commission, from the TIF LMI funding, to cover that spread until HUD can catch up again. And that request is $7,500. and it was recommended for approval from the commission.
Okay, do I have a motion to that effect?
I'd so move.
Second.
Okay, got a motion by Lowell, second by Carlson. Discussion?
I would note, just for the council, that there's approximately $136,000 in that city fund, and that it is in a situation where there are not replenishment revenues coming back into that fund, so it is a static amount.
But yet, we do HUD work with Upper Explorerland too, correct? Or housing programs?
Upper Explorerland does several different housing programs. We don't fund, the city doesn't fund their similar program like this, but the city does fund some of their other assistance programs, like the Housing Trust Fund, for example.
Okay.
But they run a similar program for low rent individuals, low rent assistance for LMI individuals for areas within the Upper Explorerland service area outside of Decorah. So similar program. Yours through Laura's office is for Decorah residents, Upper Explorerlands through their offices for their 5-county region.
Follow up on that, the 70 number is the households receiving assistance, and all 70 of them are in the city limits, right?
That's correct.
Any further discussion?
It was interesting in the letter, she has 70 on a waiting list too.
And those would be all in city limits.
That's the requirement for the program she administers, yeah.
Okay.
Roll call?
Luce?
Aye.
Carlson?
Aye.
Chisel?
No.
Lohr?
No.
Rustad?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Okay, it passes 4-2. Okay, moving right along to number 14, consider ordinance 1185, amending chapter 8.16 regarding collection and transportation and garbage and other refuge to the designated sanitary landfill for the city of Decorah. This is the third and final reading.
Move we adopt third reading of 1185.
Motion by Lois, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Carlson. Discussion? The third reading, so yeah. Discussion, roll call.
Luce?
Aye.
Carlson?
Aye.
Chisel?
Aye.
Lohr?
Aye.
Rustad?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Okay, consider ordinance 1186, approving a requested rezoning for Lot 2 of 3 Highland Drive, R1 to R3. This will be the second reading.
There have been no further comments received at City Hall on
Okay.
this matter.
Move 1186.
Motion by Lois, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Carlson. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Luce?
Aye.
Carlson?
Aye.
Chisel?
Aye.
Lohr?
Aye.
Rustad?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Okay.
I'd move waiving the third reading.
A motion by Lois to waive the third reading. Do I have a second?
And adopt.
And adopt, yes.
I have a second by Lohr. You slowing up?
Better let somebody else have one.
Discussion? Roll call?
Luce?
Yes.
Lohr?
Aye.
Rustad?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Carlson?
Aye.
Chisel?
Aye.
Okay, that has been passed, and we have waived the third reading, so, thank you. Moving right along, consider resolution 2747 for the mayor's appointment to the telecommunications board. The mayor is recommending the following slate for appointments with the corresponding terms. All candidates have expressed willingness to serve. There is one change from your background. The date, the year has not changed, but the date will change to all of them to May 31st. May 31st. And that is, again, Carol Corbin will serve an initial term of 1 year, to May 31st, 2017. Paul Patson Initial term of 2 years, same end date, but 2018. Bruce Butters, serve initial term of 3 years, ending May 31st, 2019. Anna Norris, to serve an initial term of 4 years, expiring May 31st, 2020. Jared Walters, to serve the initial term of 5 years, expiring May 31st, 2021. Do I have a motion to accept those?
Quick question, Chad. Is it all right if, was there any discussion about Paul being on the Metronet board as well as on this utility board? Was that cleared up, or is that going to be an issue?
It could potentially be an issue when they get to the point where they may be negotiating for service contracts or IRUs or those types of things. Right now, there won't be any of those financial considerations. So whether those are resolved within this first 2 years is unknown.
Okay.
It's unlikely, but there will be a conflict of interest there should that continue.
Okay.
Is there a problem with Mr. Walter being on P&Z as a member already?
No, because there's no supervision by one of those boards over the other, or there won't be any dealings between the two. So unless something came up where that occurred, which is always possible, they would just have to recuse themselves if there's a conflict. But the positions are not of themselves.
The city has nothing that seeks to have no one taking 2 or 3 jobs, with the idea that more citizens involved.
No.
Thank you.
Make a motion for approval of resolution number 2747.
Motion by Carlson, second by Johnson. Any further discussion? Seeing none, hearing none. Roll call.
Carlson?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Rustad?
Aye.
Lohr?
Aye.
Chisel?
Aye.
Luce?
Aye.
Okay. Number 17, consider board and commission appointments. This time would be the Low to Moderate Income Commission, John Beard for Northeast Iowa Community Action. Chad, how long would this be for?
I think these are 5-year terms, but I didn't bring that note
Okay.
with me.
All right. So anyway, that's what is on the agenda. Do I have a motion?
Move we accept John Beard from Northeast Iowa Community Action Representative.
Second.
I don't think so. A motion by Lowe, second by Carlson. Discussion?
Luce? Oh, sorry. Jumping the gun.
That's all right, not a
You want
problem.
me to talk or what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Seeing none, hearing none, roll call.
Luce?
Aye.
Carlson?
Aye.
Chisel?
Aye.
Lohr?
Aye.
Rustad?
All right,
Johnson?
Aye.
okay. Moving on to city manager and department heads. Chad?
So I have a couple of things. One, I put an agenda in front of you from the Winnebago County Landfill Association, just letting you know of their July meeting, and that they will be holding a tour of the landfill, and you're all invited specifically. So if you'd like to go out to the landfill on Monday at 5:30, you can tour that facility as their board does so as well. Just an update on the IT position that is jointly shared with the city and the county. Wanda and I met with the county staff on Wednesday and started to review the job description, and we realized that it does need some tweaking and rewriting, and so Wanda is working on that as we speak. And once that is done, we'll get back together and get that approved, and then work on posting a posting announcement for that position. So, I wanted to let the council know that we'll have several, 3 or 4 FAA representatives here on August 3rd at 10 a.m. to inspect the airport and its several projects that we've been working on over the last several years. This is an unusual opportunity. Usually the FAA folks don't come to the municipal airports to inspect their projects, but we're pleased to have them here and look forward to spending the day out there with them, looking at the projects.
Could you repeat the date?
Yeah, August 3rd,
Time?
10 a.m. And they'll probably be here for several hours as we walk through not only projects we've been working on this year, but projects over the last several years. Again, they've not been here, at least in my tenure, in this capacity. So If you have interest in meeting them or stopping out and saying hello, let me know. We'll make sure we can make that happen. So. And then finally, I would like to let the council know that the Iowa DOT and the DNR are starting a project, or have announced a project at the Bowstring Bridge, working on the driveway and entrance. That'll be a pretty invasive project, and it will cause some temporary closures or rerouting of the Trout Run Trail as it goes through Bowstring. That project is slated to start sometime around the end of September and may continue through the winter months into the spring. So it's a pretty extensive project. Hopefully it will change the way you enter and maneuver through that park, though, and should provide for better highway access. So just wanted to let you know about that. That's all I have.
Okay, anything from the department heads?
Yeah, so just a little bit on Chad's note there, the DNR did meet with the 2080 board on the trail work, and at the end of the day, the improvements building will be well worth putting up with a little trail interruption. Last week, the Freeport Trail was interrupted for a little bit while the sewer line project went in, and I think that all went smoothly. This will be a little bit bigger project, but to improve trail access, improve river access, and to make that entrance safer in and out of that park, which is owned by the state, all those would be pluses that are worth considering making it work. So, the State Preserve Board is meeting here in this room on Thursday to discuss Ice Cave, trails in Ice Cave. So that's all I've got.
Andy, I'm sure you've had some good comments on the swimming pool. Just thought I'd let you know, my 5-year-old grandson, after about 50 trips down the slide, gives you a thumbs up.
Just letting you know, I think you noticed there probably weren't many claims this time. Of course, this is our fiscal year, so we have a lot to do and don't get those claims done. We will have to pay some of those before your next meeting, so that you'll have, quite a few more at your next meeting, but I assure you we won't pay anything that there could be any question about paying. But we will have to go through that process as we do every year.
Wanda, we budgeted planning for transitional staff in the clerk's office. Is that going to be starting soon, or?
Well, as I started looking at that, we're going to have an investment in computers, in a new computer, in new furniture. So I'm looking at, because I want to stay within budget this first year, so I think what we'll have to do is get those things taken care of and then look at hiring not until closer to the first of the year, so that we stay within those projected budget amounts that we gave you. So, like I said, I'm not entirely sure because I don't have any numbers yet as to when that's going to happen, but that's kind of why we've been kind of going a little slower on that project, because we need to take a look at that piece first and where we're going to put that person, which is going to take clever people to try to figure out where we're going to put a fourth person.
So
or a
Andy
third
didn't volunteer
person
to work
in
at
that
home, or?
office. What? So,
Our lab is required to do some quality assurance for the EPA every year, and we just got notification this afternoon that we passed. Jim Cooper's our lab tech, and he does a wonderful job maintaining that lab, and it takes probably about 2 days of solid testing to complete what they require us to do. So, good job for him doing what he does there. And also, last week the DNR came up and they inspected the categorical industries in town. So they went to Stanley and also Gemini. The DNR gave them a couple recommendations, pretty minor ones, but on our part everything was good. No recommendations at this time, and the report should be coming in about 2 weeks. So.
As of last week, I got some good news. We got the salt prices for the upcoming winter, and they are down $2.87 again this year. So we'll be paying $74.63 a ton. So always helps out.
Last day of the year.
You really want to talk about snow and ice? Anything, Lorraine, do you have anything? Okay. Move to council. I know the mayor always starts on the right side, but I'll start on the left side.
Nothing.
Okay. Chuck.
Yeah, I'd like to talk a little bit about the fire department. Since being put on the safety committee, I've tried to get involved as much as I could and learn as much as I could. And to expand off my opening remarks at the safety meeting 2 weeks ago, I was surprised, and maybe I'll share this, maybe somebody on the council did not know, but correct me, Mike, if I'm wrong here, but the volunteer firemen own a lot of the equipment in the fire department, and they've raised with fundraisers, a lot of the rescue equipment and that. Also, the last unit bought was shared between rural and the city, and also the maintenance of it. So I'm learning as I ask questions and talk to people. Now, contrary to popular belief, I wanted to have a discussion, and as an elected official, and Luther being in my ward, I did have the opportunity to discuss, because maybe a year or two ago, I hate to tell Mike this, but maybe I wouldn't have been in favor of a new ladder truck. But again, learning more about the department and other issues of safety, as I talked last time, this is a safety issue. And so my conversion to supporting a new ladder, or a replacement ladder truck, I'm trying to share with as many people as I can. And that's what I did with my discussions with Luther and the supervisors. With Luther, we started with pleasantries, and I shared some history, family history, with the president of Luther on my family's relationship to Luther and fires. And that's a long story. I can share it some other time. But we talked about what I saw as the need for the ladder truck, and was wishing, hoping that they could join us in supporting that. And then out at the airport at the open house, I was invited to come to the supervisors and talk about the ladder truck, which I took them up on, and today, and the media was there. I appreciate that, guys. And just explain the ladder truck, and again, my conversion to why I'm supporting the ladder truck. We did not come to any money conclusions on either one. I would like to say the three big players on the ladder truck are Luther, the county, and the city. And I'd like to see us share that burden. I hope that's the way it goes. I hope the financial people can come to some agreement on that. The one nice thing, everybody I've talked to agrees on the safety issues and the need. I'm not sure we're all in agreement on financial support, and I hope we can come to a three-way support there. What is it, Chief Green, Mike? From Washington?
I believe he's a chief in Washington. I believe he's a mayor. Yeah, I think he's the mayor of Washington.
Yeah.
But he is on the Washington Fire Department.
Okay. I didn't know he was going to be at the meeting with the supervisors, but he came because of the ladder truck issue, and was very helpful and supportive, and explained a lot of things about the ladder truck, which I appreciate. And I need to drop him a note, Mike, and just tell him, if you see him, that I appreciate him being at the meeting today. We've got a tentative agenda for a safety on the 19th at 6:30. That's a Tuesday. And besides the rural fire board meeting and some security issues here and equipment, regarding equipment, we will try to talk about gear depletion and would like to have maybe turn that into a little bit of a show and tell. So I'm inviting all the council members if they can attend to do that and have their input into that. And hopefully we'll get this set for the fall hunt. That's all I have, Terry. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Steve? I have to say I'm concerned in talking to the supervisors this morning after Councilman Lohr's presentation that they had no idea that he wasn't representing the council, that he was talking simply his own perspective. And so I'm concerned about one of the council persons making discussions with the community at large before the council has actually acted on things. And I understand a desire to want to share, but I don't want the community to get mixed signals. I think there's probably more players than the three you mentioned. I think industry in town could be talked about for this truck. So I hope you will counsel your discussions and tone down the emphasis that you're giving about this being your baby, because it's a council decision, and I'm a little upset about your striking out on your own.
Anything else?
No.
Nothing at this time.
Randy?
Just a reminder of the meeting Thursday morning.
Okay. The other thing I have regarding the street, we will have a street committee meeting shortly afterwards, and we will be going, FYI, we will be going just till 7:30 because there is a county board meeting that is scheduled to meet in here at 7:30. So anyway, so do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.